David, a 42-year-old successful businessman, had spent his morning rushing from meeting to meeting. He was used to things running on schedule, his life perfectly managed like his tailored suits. But on that hot Atlanta afternoon, something unexpected happened. His sleek black luxury car sputtered and then rolled to a stop on the side of the road. Smoke curled from under the hood as the Georgia sun beat down. Frustrated, David slammed the steering wheel and stepped outside, his expensive shoes crunching against the gravel. For the first time in years, he felt powerless in the middle of nowhere. He pulled out his phone and called roadside assistance, but the automated voice on the other end informed him there would be a delay, at least an hour before anyone could arrive. David loosened his tie, sweat dripping down his face. This wasn't part of his carefully planned day. As cars sped past him on the busy road, he felt out of place, almost vulnerable. The city's constant hum surrounded him, yet he had never felt more stranded. People glanced his way, but no one stopped, and his pride kept him from waving anyone down for help. Just when David had resigned himself to waiting in the heat, he heard a calm voice behind him. "Need a hand?" He turned to see a black woman, maybe in her mid-30s, carrying 2 grocery bags. She wore jeans and a worn t-shirt, her hair tied back neatly with grease stains on her sleeves. David frowned slightly, not sure if she was joking. Unless you know cars," he replied, half skeptical. To his surprise, she set her bags down with confidence and walked straight toward the hood of his car. Her name was Jasmine, 34 years old, and fixing cars was nothing new to her. She leaned over the engine, studying it like an old puzzle. "Looks like a loose connection." "Nothing major," she muttered, pulling a wrench from her bag like it was the most normal thing in the world. David blinked in disbelief. He was worth millions, owned companies, but here was a stranger handling his car better than he ever could. Watching her work, he realized how far removed he had become from simple, practical skills that once mattered. She made it look easy. "Try it now," Jasmine said, wiping sweat from her brow as she stepped back. David slid into the driver's seat and turned the key. The engine roared back to life, smooth and steady. Relief washed over him and he climbed out of the car quickly. "You just saved me a lot of trouble," he admitted, still surprised. "How can I thank you?" He reached for his wallet instinctively, but before he could say more, his eyes fell to her left hand. A simple gold wedding ring caught the sunlight, and his smile faltered just slightly. "You're married?" he asked, unsure why the question even left his lips. Jasmine froze for a moment before answering softly, "I was. My husband was a soldier. He never made it back." Her voice was calm, but there was a weight in her eyes that David instantly recognized. Loss, strength, and resilience wrapped into one. The ring wasn't about being taken, it was about remembering. For the first time in a long while, David didn't know what to say. Standing there by the roadside, he felt something shift deep inside him. David stood quietly, the hum of his car now steady, but his mind restless. He had never expected to feel humbled by a stranger on the side of the road. Jasmine bent down to gather her grocery bags, brushing her hands on her jeans as if it were just another ordinary day. "Thank you again," David said, his voice softer than usual. He wanted to say more but didn't know how. For a man used to closing deals with sharp words and confidence, silence felt strange, yet he couldn't shake the image of her strength. As Jasmine started walking away, David found himself following. "Wait, can I at least give you a ride?" he asked. She paused, hesitating. He wasn't just any man. His suit, watch, and car screamed wealth. Still, something in his tone sounded genuine. She finally nodded. "All right, just to the bus stop down the street." They walked together to his car, and for the first time, David opened the passenger door himself, offering her the seat with respect. It wasn't charity, it was gratitude. She accepted quietly, settling in with grace. The ride was short, but felt longer with the unspoken tension. David wanted to ask about her life, but was careful not to pry. Jasmine, on the other hand, was curious why a man with such obvious wealth looked so lost when his car broke down. "You don't fix things yourself, do you?" she asked with a small smile. David chuckled, shaking his head. "Not at all. I guess I've forgotten how. Her laugh filled the car, light but meaningful. It reminded him of something he hadn't heard in years, honest simplicity. At the bus stop, David didn't want the conversation to end. "Let me at least help you carry those," he offered, reaching for her grocery bags. Jasmine shook her head firmly. "I've got it." "I always do." Her words echoed in his ears as she stepped out of the car. Watching her walk away, David felt something stir in him, a mix of admiration and guilt. He was a man surrounded by luxury, yet this woman, with so little, carried herself with more dignity than most people he knew. Later that evening, David sat in his penthouse apartment, staring at the city lights. The encounter replayed in his mind like a film. He thought about the ring, her calm strength, and how quickly she had solved his problem. For once, he didn't feel like the hero in the story. He was the one who had been rescued. He wondered how many times life had given him people like her, but his pride or busy schedule had made him overlook them. This time, however, he couldn't let it go. The next day, David tracked down Jasmine's neighborhood. It wasn't hard. He remembered the direction she had pointed to. He found her modest home, paint peeling from the porch, but flowers neatly arranged in old pots along the steps. She was outside, fixing a neighbor's bike for their child, her sleeves rolled up and hands steady. David watched for a moment before approaching. "You again?" she said with a teasing smile when she noticed him. "I wanted to say thank you properly," he replied, holding out a small envelope. Inside was money, enough to cover groceries for months, maybe even more. Jasmine's smile faded. "I didn't help you for this," she said firmly, handing it back. David shook his head. "It's not charity. It's respect. You helped me when no one else stopped. That means something." For a long moment, Jasmine studied him, torn between pride and gratitude. Finally, she sighed, her voice softening. "If you really want to thank me, then just promise me you'll remember what matters. Money can't fix everything." Her words cut deeper than he expected. That night, David sat in his office, the envelope still in his pocket. He didn't push it on her again. Instead, he thought about the lesson she had left him with. For years, he had measured worth in numbers, contracts, and assets. Yet here was a woman whose entire life was about fixing what was broken, with her hands, her heart, and her courage. David knew then that the moment he broke down on the road wasn't an accident. It was a reminder that true wealth wasn't found in his bank account, but in humanity.